Welcome to the second episode of the new season, and we are doing all sci-fi themed animations, and we have a good one for you today. This one is called Evolution. It's a short, so it's a bit easier accessible. It's also from the National Film Board of Canada, was that what it's from again?
Yes, we've done several from that. This one's from 1971 also, and it is about 10 minutes long.
Very popular year for culture, 1971. That year keeps coming up. Yeah, this one was pretty lively and fun. I really liked it. It was very vibrant and colorful and funny. I just loved the music. I loved how they had almost like a New Orleans-y kind of like old-timey feel with like the banjo and then the piano. They had like a honky-tonk type sound. Yeah, I really liked it.
Yeah, I definitely got New Orleans off of it too, but it was just like zany and fun and that sort of thing.
When the clarinet first comes in, it reminded me a little bit of the Simpsons intro a little bit.
Oh.
And then I could have sworn I heard a quote from Rhapsody in Blue by Gershwin, just with the clarinet. So yeah, I don't know if Danny Elfman took any inspiration from that, but yeah, it was just, and it was also a lot of like fun sound effects with the instruments. So basically the film, it's just about evolution. So it starts off with a bunch of eyes sort of fluttering about and reproducing. And I like that they chose eyes because it's one of the first things you notice about a person.
Yeah, and that they could look so much like cells too, like cells next to each other. And so that was a really interesting artistic choice that they did there. And I was also thinking about that in regards to like consciousness, like the birth of consciousness and like eyes and the connection there.
Yeah, and the eyes are also just sort of kind of funny looking, like they were just sort of like no eyelids, just so like the eyes were just like wide open and very cartoonish, so like, very excited. And then so slowly the creatures or cells, they keep dividing, and then eventually one of the offspring is different, and then that sets a chain of events, and then like each next offspring like changes a little bit, mirroring evolution, and then we have all of these different types of animals developing. One of the things that like shocked me at first was there's this scene where he's cracking open the eggs.
The infanticide, is that's what shocked you?
I audibly like gasped.
Yeah, I was like, oh.
Yeah, so what happened was the mom laid all these eggs and the dad was, cracking them open to reveal the offspring. And then one of them is different from all the other ones. And then the music stops and it's like, wah, wah. And then, this cute little offspring
that smiles up at its parents, like in the most cute and adorable way, where you're just like, oh, look at this cute, different one. And then
a giant foot comes down and smushes the infant. And they're like, nope, you're too different. And that was really, ugh. But I mean, I guess it was trying to mirror the reality of evolution.
Yeah, I mean, that is real. It's like in evolution, it's the mutants that are the ones that are like pushing progress forward, but they're often,
cast aside.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you're different. I also liked the changing color butterfly. It almost was like a...
Oh, is that what that was? I couldn't figure out what it was.
I assumed it was a butterfly.
I thought it was the ghost of like the one that was squashed, like, but it was like kind of formless in a way, but it did look like a butterfly, and I that didn't even cross my mind.
I just liked how the color was like rapidly changing, sort of like a strobe.
Yeah, that was neat.
And also it was interesting how like the fill color of a lot of the animals and the backgrounds was always, it almost looked like it had been painted each frame, because it was always like swirling and changing just a little bit during the animation. Same thing with like when you have animation where like the lines are like really squiggly all the time and they're always like morphing. And so it's really cool to do something like that with the color, like the color fill itself. Were there any other scenes that kind of stuck out to you as being like interesting or funny or poetic?
Interesting would be a good word to use about like when we had the eyes in the beginning, the first kind of mutation was that it became a red eye, and then the red eye kind of turned into like, I guess, a sperm, because there was very much this like egg like thing that went through it. And so that's kind of where it started. And then there were several iterations of like the bird creatures laying eggs until we get to the like humanoid creatures at the end, that the one blew into the other one's like nose or something, and then babies popped out of the head. So that then they became mammals, I guess.
One that I thought was really interesting was that one like land creature takes the beak off of a bird and then puts it on himself.
Yeah.
And pretends to be a bird. And then the female of the species also has a beak and is pretending to be a bird. And I'm like, they're both pretending to be different species, and then they run into each other and they're like, that gets them going. And then they like start to mate. And I was like, I didn't know what it meant, but it seemed like it had a really like powerful like meaning of something, like pretending to be something else, but like, I don't know.
I kind of saw it as like passing the torch from like we had these like egg bearers, and then that one was more like humanoid to me, because it seemed like it fell out of the tree and then it was kind of on like four legs and then stood up, and then that's when it stole the beak from the bird. So like to me that was almost like the passing of the torch to like the next stage of evolution, or like the mammals or something like that, even though mammals don't reproduce by blowing into a nose and having babies come out of it. Not yet.
But yeah, that was just an interesting one. And it was kind of curious how a lot of the evolutionary traits were often like mimicked or incorporated tools, like with like the tractor, the snow tractor thing. Like, because I couldn't tell exactly if some of the evolutionary traits were because sometimes the offspring would like build something like at the end where they build like an airplane and stuff, but then there was some where it looked like it was just built into,
they were born this way.
Yeah. It was kind of cyborg-esque, like, cause like it was like, were you born with wheels and stuff, or like a propeller?
And so that was something I noted about this whole thing, was that there were a lot of these like repeating motifs of the era that we've seen in other animations that we've already done. So like this whole locomotion, transportation industry kind of thing. And like even the evolution of that, like within the greater piece, because it was like first the one turned in, it was like a bicycle, and then the bicycle I think turned into a train or something like that. And there were a lot of motifs in this that were stuff that we've seen before, like the consumption, the like things eating things, kind of the time marching on that happens a lot, and then mating rituals, that's something that's come up quite a bit.
I felt like it ended abruptly. But it ended and I was like, oh, wait, what happened? Because like the offspring like gets in a spaceship and like flies to, I assume, Earth.
Yeah.
And then you hear a bunch of voices in the background.
Like, hey, did you see that? Oh gosh, what's that? Like type of...
I had thought that this whole evolution was happening on Earth. So I was like, was this another planet where the evolution was happening?
I think it showed it kind of flying from Earth, and then it was like hovering above Earth and then like flew back down. Like and it was an alien like at that point. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't like upset or anything. I mean, I felt like it was long enough. It did what it needed to do. It was fun.
Yeah. I mean, I was definitely upset at at that poor little baby that we lost but other than that, it was okay. I'll say it was okay.
You were asking, do you think it's more sci or fi?
Oh yeah, more sci or fi. Well, I mean, they certainly took a lot of artistic liberties, so that part's the fi. But I mean, the sci is like the mutants marching forward with the evolution. That was pretty spot on.
Yeah, I thought it was really fun, and I mean, honestly, I think the music really made it. And just like the character design, like I don't know how they came up with some of these ideas, but. Yeah, it was very kooky. It's a very kooky...
That is a good word. Yeah, definitely.
It was also by the National Film Board or something. Another Canadian. There's so many like Canadian animations from that period.
If you want to check out Evolution, one of the ways that you can watch it is a website called Canopy. It's Kanopy. And you can use that with any kind of library card. You can sign up and then you watch free movies. And there are lots and lots of free movies and TV shows. So you'll definitely want to take advantage of that with your library card. We are both readers, so...
I'm a new reader. I took a long hiatus, but I am back on the reading train, the reading rainbow.
Nice.
Yeah, we are on it together. And this one costs 1 ticket. So that's the way that it works with Canopy. With your library, you have a certain number of tickets and those refresh every month. So you don't have to really worry about it too much. But it's a really great resource. And that's where this one is. So
awesome. Another good 70s animation. And we hope to see you in the next episode. Stay tuned. Bye.
Bye-bye.